Nicole from Chronicles of a Crafter. Welcome back to the channel. I am still in the Boho Butterfly mini-series. I'm making this journal out of a Your Creative Studios box that I received, and we're just going through all the pages and decorating them as we go. As you can see, my desk is still crazy. Here, I'll show you. You can't really see. Here, look at all of this. This is what I'm working with right now. Just a bunch of craziness all the way over there. It's just madness, I tell you, madness. Anyway, I want to wrap this journal up this week so I can do a flip through on Saturday and show you all the pretty pages that I've decorated off camera, as well as sew in my signatures. So that'll be the last step. It will be sewing in the signatures, and I'll do a flip through of all the pages that I've decorated in this past week. What I'm working on right now is a full page spread. What I've done was taken a sheet out of the journal, and it's just one full page from one side of the journal to the other side of the journal. And this is how not sewing in your signatures prematurely can help in decorating a full spread. So, excuse me. I'm going to decoupage this page with the same pattern tissue paper that I've been using throughout this entire journal. This was a file folder pattern, basically. So this is the file folder that I've been using in the journal, this pattern particularly, and this tissue paper just so happened to match it perfectly, not even realizing it. I mean, these are the identical, you know, leaves on each page. So what I've done was I decoupaged underneath are these butterflies from this Wall Creation sticker pack right here. It's just some butterflies in gold, and they're kind of like washy, you know. So there's that, and I just embellished all around with some gold rickrack and put a crochet loop of ribbon at the top. Now I'm going to give you my top secret. This is how I keep my loops or my tag toppers from like flopping and being uncontrollable. I basically, once I glue it down, I just spritz it with a little bit of hairspray and hang it up to dry. And now I have like this perfect loop right there, you know. So yeah, and what I've done after decoupaging it, I again went around with the gold rickrack and I just liquid pearled the outlines and some of the, you know, the little decorations of that butterfly, each one. And down here is the gold leaf feathers that I also glued underneath or decoupaged underneath. All right, I'm going to try to replicate something similar with this. All I've done so far was just stuck down some washi stickers of butterflies. They're not my favorites. I mean, these are pretty, but these are not my favorite butterflies, so I'm just going to cover them up by decoupaging it. So that's gonna look like so, and the decoupage will dry clear and you will be able to see the butterfly designs underneath. All right, so let me go ahead and get my matte gel medium and an old or generic sponge dauber or a paintbrush, and we'll just get right into this. All right, I'll be right back. So to start, I'm just using my Liquitex matte gel medium, and I'm just going to apply a little bit on each side of the page. Again, a little goes a long way with this, so I'm just going to cover up these butterflies. And sorry for shaking the camera, but the camera is attached to my desk. Alright, and do the same thing on the other side. And this is just to get the tissue paper to initially stick down. I I do decoupage differently almost every time. Like, I never follow any one particular method. Sometimes I glue my tissue paper down, sometimes I don't. I'm going to take a little bit of my spritzing bottle here and just gently spritz the paper. Not so that it soaks through so much, but just to activate some of that decoupage underneath. And I'm just going to drop this down and hopefully not get any wrinkles. Okay? I'm going to start in the middle and work my way out. Oh, that is perfect. No wrinkles whatsoever. Now, when it's drying, it may create some wrinkles, but it'll be fine. It'll be just fine. This is just great. All right, and then I'm going to go over the top with some more matte gel medium. And I'm just working in one direction. It helps when if you are going to get streaks or brush strokes, that they're going in the same direction, so that, you know, it's not like all over the place and wishy-washy. So I'm just going to go in one direction and get this matte gel medium all over the page. And you see how that's starting to come through already? These 3 butterflies right here, they look great. I love this. All right, I'm going to do the other side the same way. It's a little bit more complex working to the left, but it's not a problem. Look at that one. I'm shocked every single time. Like, I'm just so lucky to be able to play with paper and glue and just, yeah, all of this stuff just surprises me every single time. You just never know what you're gonna get. You know, I love it. Oh yeah. This is starting to come through right here, right there. You can see the butterflies underneath. It looks great. Alright, I'm just going to let this dry on its own. I'm not going to use the heat tool. Here's another tip that I found, that by using my heat tool on either matte gel medium or Mod Podge, sometimes when you use your heat tool, depending on how close or how fast you want it to dry, you hold the heat tool closer, you know, what have you. That heat tool will bubble up your glues and create all kinds of havoc for you. So I try to just let my decoupage projects just dry on their own. This way there's no, you know, bubbles, or it kind of, the heat tool will cook your glue. It's the craziest thing. So anyway, I'm just going to set this aside to dry, and then I'm going to work on another quick project that that'll also go into the butterfly journal. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, my decoupage page is drying, and what I have here is just a gold piece of, it's kind of like poster board. It's a huge sheet of poster board. You know, I believe it starts off at 22 by 28 inches. So this is what that is right there. I got this at Dollar Tree for about 59 cents or so, or I don't know, 79 cents. So it's a huge sheet of poster board that you can basically cut up and use throughout your project. So this is just paper. It's not, I mean, it's cardstock quality or weight paper, but again, you can get a lot going on for just, you know, a few pennies, a few cents or whatever. So under $1 you can get a huge sheet of gold poster board. So what I've done was I've basically cut this down to about the size that I need it to fit on one side of a page inside my junk journal, and I glued on some book page on the other side. So this is just a random sheet of book page that came out of a book that I may have deconstructed already, and or I'm going to use a lot more of that book page in other projects. So all I've done, sorry for shaking the camera, all I've done was just glued this page down with my Scotch Create glue stick. Alright. So I'm going to take my small scoreboard over here. I'm going to need my large scoreboard, which happens to be down here. Alright, and I'm going to rotate it because I hate working on the left hand side and getting into this corner over here. So I am just simply going to score right on this. I want to get rid of this this border over here, or this margin over here. So I'm just guesstimating. I'm assuming that it's around, I'll do it at 4 1/4. Okay. That's fairly straight, and the gold is on the other side. I'm just going to fold this up on the score line without cracking the gold paper on the other side. Alright, so now we have this. I'm going to show you what page I'm going to put this into. It's also pre-decorated, so let me get that page. Okay, so this is page 3 of my journal. This would be page 4 of the journal. This is somewhere in the back of the journal, so I'm guessing it's around page 6, 7, or 8. Okay, maybe it's 6. Okay, so all I've done was taken a piece of paper doily. It's coffee dyed already, or coffee stained, and I'm just using it as a cute little flap on one side, and there's plenty of journaling space over here. I could go in with my ink dauber and just create some patterns underneath. I don't need a whole full circle of it, or half circle, just to create the illusion of some inking underneath there. Now you have that. Okay, and I can do the same thing in a random pattern down below, and now you have that. All right, so there's different ways you can play around with decorating decorating your pages. Underneath here I can do some, I don't know, I could probably put this pretty little flower, okay, just right here in the corner, and it's just something that you'll, you know, it's like a little surprise when you flip this up. It's like, oh, look at that. Like, who would have thought that that would be there? Okay, so I may play around with that a little bit, but on the opposite side of this page over here, and let me just remove this for now. So what I've done was I taken my doily, scored it, cut away the excess because I didn't need it on this side of the page, but I did glue it down on this side of the page. All right, so now I have that, and I'm just going to take my scored book page. I'm going to cover up the majority of that doily on this side, and I'm going to create like a little flap on this side of the book page. Okay, so yeah, so this would be like a little decorated hidden slash flap on the other side. But before gluing this down, I am going to add some pockets over here so that you can tuck a bunch of stuff into. Alright, so to do that, I'm going to use, I'm just going to use all kinds of scraps. So I have here this music paper, and I thought about doing like a gusseted pocket, but it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't even really matter. I'm just going to tear this along here. Okay, that would be one pocket. I really like this paper so much, but it's so fragile, and I'll show you some of the other things that I've done with it in throughout the book. But yeah, I really tried to make pockets out of this, but it just wasn't working out. But I am going to use it here because it has all of this protection and reinforcement on this side. So I'm just going to tear this down and across. Alright, so now I have that pocket, this pocket, okay, so we have one tuck, two tucks, and I can make a very small tuck up here at the top. Let me just see what else can I use to do that. Yeah, let's see. Oh, here's some more butterfly paper. Yeah, I think that'll look cute. So what I'm trying to do is get some of the writing on top so that you can see that it is a book page that we're gluing this all down to, and give each pocket a little bit of dimension or direction as to you know, so that it's distinctively a pocket. I'm just going to cut away this corner over here. And use my scissors just to cut a straight line here. Okay, so it just needs a little sliver cut off from the bottom. Alright, so this is what my page pocket or page tuck will look like when I'm done. And I'm just going to use maybe some art glitter glue because it dries really quickly. I can also use some tacky glue, or I can use my PVA glue. So any one of those will work if you have them. And this will be the part that's glued down. This will then flip over to the other side, and we can decorate this other side as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue these down, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so here is the glued down pockets. I just wanted to show you what I've done. I basically just glued each pocket on both sides and at the bottom. So this one's glued down here at the bottom. This one's also glued down at the bottom, and then I have a very tiny pocket up at the top that's also glued completely down at the bottom. So they're glued on all sides except for the top, and this is a fairly long tag. It is just over 4.5 inches, almost 5 inches. Excuse me. And that fits perfectly down inside of this bottom pocket. I've also just tucked in some other tags right here so you can see how deep those are. And then I put some tickets up at the top, and this is a fairly shallow pocket up here at the top. So let me just pull all of these out so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so this is what it looks like. emptied, and you can see the excuse me, you can see the book page back there. I just inked around the edges, rounded my corners. Excuse me, I have something in my throat. Oh my gosh, it's bothering me so bad. And this is the back side where I've scored the gold paper and I just lined it with another piece of gold paper on this side because I figured this part will never be seen once you glue it down. But I kind of like that little remnant of gold coming through from the other side. Gives you a little hint of what's going on back here. Alright, on the back side, all I did was I glued down one of those little butterfly stickers. They are already gold. So this is the butterfly stickers from Wall Creations I got at Dollar Tree. They are already gold, and when I glued it down to this gold poster board, it just basically gives it a nice little silhouette of a gold butterfly back there. So this is what we have. I'm gonna glue this down. It then creates this flap, and then we can do anything we want on the other side. So let me just glue this down. One more hint. I'm staying away from the Fabrifix glue because it is a clear silicone glue. It has the remnants of alcohol, and alcohol completely deteriorates this gold paper, so it'll just rub it all away. You'll end up with silver paper or white paper or whatever the undercoating is of this gold, so you want to stay away from any alcohol glues. I'm going to try to use my art glitter glue because it dries fairly quickly, but I may run into an issue because it's a liquid based glue. So I'm just adding some art glitter glue simply on the doily part of the paper. And put my pin back in. And on this side, this little flap right here, I'm going to add some dry glue stick. I'm using Elmer's Craft Bond, so hopefully this will work. The combination of the two glues should give me a nice grab. And I'm just lining this up fairly centrally on the page. Yep. And I'm just going to give that a minute to adhere to each other, and then I'm going to set it aside to dry. Okay. And I'm not going to lift that section up at all. I'm just going to put a couple of clips on here to hold it in place until it dries, and I'm going to set this aside. So basically on the other side we have this pretty doily, which you can ink around it and make these little underneath transparencies. And on the other side we have this little flap right here glued down with a combination of art glitter and glue stick. Let me use my little bull nose clip. Hopefully it doesn't give too deep of an impression on my gold paper. Alright, so I'm just going to hold that in place right there and set it aside to dry. Now I'm going to go back to my decoupage project from earlier. And it's dry, but it's dry. I think it's dry. So let's go ahead, and I should add a second coat on here just because I can. But first I want to go ahead and cut away this excess paper all around. This is the tissue paper that I covered it with. I'm just gonna cut away as close to the sheet without cutting the sheet as possible. And then we can have a look at what it looks like if I need to add any additional glue or matte gel medium to seal it in. I'll do it at that point. See what I mean? I've just cut my page. Whoops. Alright. And the last side over here. Okay. This is still plenty of tissue paper that I can save for a number of things. So I'm just going to hold on to this and put it away for now. And here is the inside of that paper, folded in half. Okay, I just had to get a drink of water because my throat was tickling me so badly. So here we have the paper, the butterflies on both sides. And I'm just going to go in just a little bit closer around the edges to cut away the excess of the tissue paper. Just running my scissors along the edge of the page without cutting it. Okay, so I like this a lot. It looks really cute, very sweet, and it'll be a nice little addition to the journal. What I want to do is possibly come in with some raised butterflies. I think those look sweet there. And these are just die cuts of butterflies from my butterfly die cut package. I've also found these at the Dollar Tree. They come in various styles, various colors. They all have a hint of gold on them, and various sizes. So I think I'm kind of liking that a little bit. Not 100% sure, but I'm digging it. You know, I'm just gonna play around with this and see which ones look best where. It kind of looks like a butterfly sanctuary a little bit. They're everywhere. Okay, yep, I like this right here. Perhaps I can put that little tiny one right in there. Yeah, I like this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these down exactly where they are, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so this is my collage page of butterflies. I liked it so much I've decided to make it my center spread. So this is what it looks like in the middle of this second journal, second signature, sorry. So yeah, I think this looks great right here in the middle, and we'll bind it down the center here. And yeah, this is my Chunky Monkey second signature. I am going to do a full flip through to show you guys some of the hidden secrets that I have inside of here. For my last trick, okay, so literally the last thing that I want to do on camera for this journal is, this is my first page. This is the front page of the second signature of the journal. I want to reinforce the back page as well, because the front page is a little bit, it's heavier, it's thicker, and I just want to reinforce the back side of this journal also. So this be at the front page, this would be the last page. And all I'm going to do is basically take this really beautiful artisan paper and mimic the same thing on the back. So I'm just going to cut a full sheet of this artisan paper to fit back here, and we'll just slap it down, glue it down, and it'll be, you know, it could be a journaling space, it can be a collaging space for whoever gets this journal. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, this has been a lot of fun. I'm going to go ahead and leave you right here. This is what I have completed. These are my two very, very fat journals signatures. And the next step will be to bind the entire thing. I hope you guys enjoyed this mini series. If you did, you know what to do down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and it's really helping my channel to grow when you guys subscribe and you share with your friends and family. And I hope you guys have a crafty day. Alright guys, stay naturally curious. I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye!